My name is Cecil Rhodes. I was born September the 6th, 1920, in Neshoba County, Mississippi. I tell everybody that on September the 6th, 4:30 in the morning, every coal oil lamp in Mount Sinai community lit up. They said, Ben and Cola Rhodes has got another boy, and that's me. We were on an old RAF base. The Germans had bombed the hangars, and a lot of the barracks had been bombed, repaired. And we were probably maybe like from here in New Orleans, from Normandy, and the beach were the thing there. And as I said, I worked in the order room there. I was a statistical clerk. That's kind of hard to say. But I didn't ask for that. They said, that's where you're going. And that was my sign. They fell maybe like 200 or 300 yards from where we were staying, you know. Then we saw more of these buzz bombs. That was a bomb with a pilot in it. They launched them from Holland, and they headed them towards London. And our base was in the path of that. I know one night, I think there's 16 or 18 that came in within a certain radius that we could see. A few of them would fall, they'd light up the sky, and a terrible explosion, and the windows in the barracks would rattle, something like that. But I would not have the concern that I would right now. Younger, you know, had been trained, he was military-minded, the Germans were cruel, they were barbarians, and you had all that propaganda pumped in you, you know. And we was ready for them to move on, get them back, you know. And eventually they did. Brother went to the field artillery. He went to the Pacific. The brother just younger than me went to an army division. They went to France and Europe. The youngest brother was in the infantry, and he had been in France 13 days, and he was killed. His nickname was Mutt. Walter F. Rhodes was his name, but he picked up a nickname of Mutt. Everybody knew him as Mutt Rhodes. Chaplain Brown, I guess the Army notified him, and he came down and told me, you know, I was in the order room, he called me out. Well, I felt like something, because he had been down there a few days before. Another one of those fellows, his brother was killed, and they sent the word to the chaplain. The chaplain then came and told me. That's all he knew. He just said he was killed, you know, and the date, that's all that I knew about that. And for some reason, my daddy didn't want to bring his body back. He's buried at St. James Cemetery in France. That's what we got details. Of course, when he was killed, there was 4, and they just bulldozed him, you know, and covered him. Then they moved the body later on to a national cemetery, and we have had pictures of this marker there. One, we got a little girl putting a flower. They put us on a train, and we was an old 40 and 8. You know, it don't hold 40 men or 8 horses. 8 horses. They called them 40 and 8. And it was super cold riding that thing. We rode the thing. We were going up to the front on that train, and it had some straw in there. And everything going along good on that straw, pretty good, you know. But it was cold. And some old guy there, and we were all about to freeze to death. He got his steel helmet out, and took his bayonet, pegged, and put the hole in it there so it'd be a draft, and made us a heater out of the steel helmet.
them GIs, they would come up with something other one. And him says, take this BR, so we'll show you how to shoot it. So it's Brown automatic rifle. And it weighed somewhere around, I think around 20 pounds, maybe 21 pounds. And you had the big old pouches, 20-pound clips. And you had 6 of those clips around your belt there. And it was a pretty good load to carry, you know, because you had 20 pounds of a rifle, Brown automatic rifle, plus that ammunition. I guess probably weighed 15 pounds of ammunition. And so they give me that. Of course, I knew how to shoot the thing. They carried us out and showed us, and we shot a few things, but I already knew how to shoot that. And I kept that BR, and I hated that thing. I just weighed 130 pounds. Well, it looked like just a series of long buildings there. And we went up, we put in there, you know, and went in there. And they had some of those Jews and all that stuff was around. And I mean, they were just a sight to see, you know. They was starving to death. Well, the captain come by and told us, said, look, says, you know, I know y'all feel sorry for these people, but don't give them anything to eat. He said they hadn't had anything to eat. Said if they overload the stomach now, they'd kill them there. So we kind of kept that in mind. But
that must have been hard to do.
Oh, it was, because like I said, you felt sorry for them. Like I said, you live one day at a time. You know, you'd see danger and all that stuff, but I never did even really think about how long the war is going to last or what is going to happen. I never even thought about that. Some of them did. Some of them got the kind of idea they were going to get killed. I had a good night. And coming to Brookhaven, Mississippi, I lived in Columbia was my hometown. But I tell you what, Brookhaven is a place to be. I've enjoyed living here. I've got good friends here, and it's just unusually good town.